Hello, hello, hello. This is your boy Brandon Correia, aka Panther of Entertainment, and we are back with another episode review. We got the Boys Season 3 season finale, Episode 8 review up. Make sure to let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode, what you thought about this season as a whole, and what you think about The Boys, the entire series as a whole, and how excited you are for Season 4 now that it has been officially confirmed. So let's get into this season finale review. So the episode starts with Maeve going to the hideout where is, and on the other hand, we have Soldier Boy, Huey, and Billy Butcher on their way back from like the forest area where the mind control guy was. And they basically stop at a gas station, and Huey comes out of the washroom, and Butcher. So, and again, this is just like little character moments where, and it's just like a line that characters will give where it'll really just show more about the character and who they actually are. And Butcher basically looks at Huey and he's just like, you really are just like a splitting image of my little brother. And he just punches him in the face and knocks him out, and he leaves him. And their plan was to go get more V. Huey ends up calling Annie to come pick him up because he can't teleport anymore because his powers ran out. And he basically reveals in the car because Annie was like, did he tell you about the V? And he was like, no, he didn't. And she was like, it could kill you. And he was basically like, and then he put two and two together that he punched him in the face in order to save him. Just more showing like the good that is in Billy, deep in Billy, and they keep referencing that. And so that was a nice moment. And in that moment also we see Huey and Starlight make up. And then as the episode progressed, we finally see the boys kind of group back together. We see, switching back to and their hideout, him and Frenchie, they have a nice moment about how like they're fucked up and how he's regretting the moment that he had in front of his daughter when he punched out her stepfather. And there's just a nice moment between him and Frenchie where they bare their soul more. We just get more lines that just reveal their character. So, and like this show is really just good at having these small moments within just like the tenseness of the show and the outlandishness and lawlessness of the show. And that's what I think makes like this particular show like really, really good, is that it's able to really have those great moments, which are the moments that really make TV shows and movies what they are and as memorable as they are. So once they're done having their moment, Frenchie and come up with a plan to basically get more of the toxin that knocks out Soldier Boy, because their main concern is stopping him. They end up getting it. They come up with a plan, and this is where we see Butcher roll in with Soldier Boy and Huey. And basically, at this point, Maeve kind of like double crosses Starlight and and Kimiko and them, and grabs the toxin and just dashes it out the window. And it's basically like, we need, like, Homelander's the main priority. And like you saw, like obviously Billy, Homelander is his main priority, and Maeve, same ways. So they were like, nah, we need Soldier Boy to take care of him, and then we'll figure out this guy later. So she kind of turns on them, and they stick them in a safe, and they basically go after Homelander. And this is where we see them go to Vought, and it's kind of like this final battle in Vought. A point that I missed also was we see Noir end up coming back to Vought to go to Homelander to be like, we need to kill Soldier Boy. And we see Homelander in this moment ask Noir, like, because Noir was, I'm guessing like he doesn't age or some shit. I can't even remember exactly what his power sets are, but like for him to be obviously alive when Soldier Boy, be on Soldier Boy's team, and then now just on Homelander's team, I'm wondering how old he is. But he was like, he asked him because he knew he was on his team. He was like, did you know my father? He revealed to him, he was like, oh, Soldier Boy's my father. And then he asked him, he's like, did you know? And Noir was like, yeah. And Homelander ends up killing him, just straight reverse flash, but obviously not quick with it because he can't move. You know what I mean? Just straight hand through the chest and kills Noir. And then now fast forward to the moment where the big final like fight at Vought, where we see Soldier Boy, Maeve, and Butcher run up on Homelander, and we see Homelander take Ryan out of like this like closet to basically be like, Soldier Boy, look, like you have a grandson. And because like because like Homelander is always kind of like crying and like sniffling and kind of like whining and stuff, to Soldier Boy, he sees him as like he calls him a puff. Right? He sees him as like a wimp and a sissy and a disappointment, because he's like, and he mentions it. I don't think it was this episode, but I think it was the previous episode where he's like, I had a goal and a dream that I wanted to have kids, like boys that I'd be able to raise as real men. Right? So to him, like when he sees Homelander and he sees Homelander, like the way he acts and he whines and he just all that, his behavior, he like felt a weight in that moment, because he was just like, I wish I could teach you to like be a man, basically. Like I wish I was there. And he was like, what? I'm not weak. And then like, you know what I mean? You see him like grab his neck, and they obviously start going back and forth at that point. And Maeve grabs one arm, Butcher grabs another arm, and he's about to do the Iron Man arc reactor chest blast on him. And then you see Ryan do his laser eyes on Soldier Boy. Like, damn kids, and ends up saving him. And then next, all you cut to is this guy just bashing this kid with the shield across the wall. Like I was dying, because I'm just like, you're so quick. Like one, like you're fine from his lasers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're fine. But instead of just being like, don't do that again, like he straight put bare force into that backhand shield and knocked him out. So like at that point, Butcher sees that and turns on him and basically starts to go after Soldier Boy. And while Homelander's Homelander's also trying to go after Soldier Boy for doing that to Ryan, we see Maeve just attacking Homelander, because to her, like, Homelander's like her worst nightmare, and her particular nightmare. Like she's the one that like is haunted by him and can't really rest because of him. So like to her, that was her main goal. So they're going at it, and she's actually like putting up a really good fight. But then it gets to a point where this man like literally just Prince Oberyn from Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? The mountain to Prince Oberyn, straight eye popping, and this guy, so she loses an eye, and there's a point where Soldier Boy is like running up on the whole team, and it seems like he's about to go after Annie, and we see Huey kind of push up all the lights in the place, because that's how she gets her power. Like the more lights, like she draws like all the like her powers from like the energy around her. So like because there was a lot of lights, she was able to get really, really powerful. So she knocked him back, and Kimiko held one arm. I forgot who was holding another arm, but they were able to like gas him a little bit. And I don't know if it was the gas that reacted in him. Maybe it was a wrong combination or something, but he started to snap, and he basically started to glow in the middle of his chest. So because like he was about to explode and basically kill everybody on like that floor and in the building who was still remaining, because they were like up top, Maeve ended up like Edge spearing him out the window and saving the building, because like it exploded outside. And they made it seem like both her and Soldier Boy were dead. We find out later that Maeve survived, and it only took her powers. But if it took her powers midair and then she fell from the ceiling, you know what I mean? And she fell from mad high and hit the ground. And we see that Soldier Boy is also alive, and they have him basically frozen and locked up. Grace Mallory has him locked up in a cryo freeze. So I'm wondering if he's going to make like an appearance again, if they're going to somehow like maybe use him to go after Homelander, because again, Homelander is still a threat. Once this is, and then again, it's proven more by the way the episode ends. But once that happens, we just see some other stuff kind of cleared up. Now moving past that, there's a moment where they're in the boys' like hangout, and we see Annie throwing away her uniform and her boots, and it's basically like her initiation into the boys. And I literally said out loud, I was like, "Oh, is she becoming one of the boys now?" And they basically voiced out loud, like they're like, "You're one of the boys now." They all put a vote, and we see Billy come into the room, and she mentioned, she's like, Billy's not going to be happy with that. And he comes into the room, and he seems like he's okay with it. And then they see that the Victoria Newman character, the character that Huey worked for, is basically about to become vice president, because, again, a part that I missed was the vice president that was running, or the person that was running to be vice president, was going out for a night swim and Deep ended up killing him. So we see that Homelander was the one that told him to go do that so that Victoria Newman couldn't go up into that VP position. So that's another big thing that the boys are going to have to deal with in season 4. And you see it by Butcher being like, that bitch is going to have to go. And sorry, I skipped over a part. Where he was actually coming back from was the hospital. After they dealt with the Soldier Boy stuff and they were still in Vought, we see him like touch his nose because he was bleeding, and then he passes out and he wakes up in the hospital. And they tell him that he has like 12 months to live max, 18 if like he's like lucky. And he basically tells the doctor to fuck off. So I don't know if this kind of signals and it's foreshadowing that season 4 will be the last season, or if they'll stretch that period of time where he'll be alive, or unless they figure out some way to keep him alive. But I did hear that the show is going to be kind of wrapping up soon. And honestly, like if it were to wrap up in like say maybe season 4, like say they end season 4, it would be a really tight and amazingly well done 4-season show. I could definitely see them stretching it to season 5, but even if they were to end at 5, like to me, like that, it might be like the perfect number. Instead of trying to stretch it to like 7, 8, it might get a little deep. I wonder if this is foreshadowing that season 4 will be the last season because them stating that Butcher only has a certain amount of time to live and that they're going to have to get done, i.e. killing Homelander and now killing Victoria Newman because she's obviously dangerous, working for Homelander and now up there in power. So those are the two big things that they're going to have to deal with in the timeline that Butcher's still alive. Now jump to the big ending. As they were leaving Vought, or after the Soldier Boy, after Maeve saved them from Soldier Boy, we see Ryan go to Homelander and be like, "Dad, like, can we leave?" And Ryan and Butcher was like trying to comfort him, but he went right to Homelander, which is kind of scary because Ryan was supposed to be like their contingency in a sense to try and stop Homelander if the time comes. So him getting really close with Homelander is a scary situation. So I'm wondering what they're going to do with that storyline, right? Because now fast forward to the end, we see that they're getting really close. There's like a riot and a bunch of people outside the Vought building, and you see Homelander just land in between them. And he's just like, "Hey, everyone." He's like, I just want to make an announcement. And he introduces Ryan, and somehow Ryan's just flying now. And he's just like, not flying, but he's floating in from the air, and he lands. And we see this one guy in the crowd just like throw a bottle at Ryan. And everyone was like shook, and the guy was like shook because like he realized what he did. And Homelander couldn't even restrain it, and he went and he did like literally just laser-eyed the man through his head and popped the man's head. And obviously we see the waste man, the waste man that's Janine's stepfather. I don't even know how MM's ex-wife even fell for this man, this clown. And then once that happens, everyone else starts to join in and everyone starts like cheering him. And at that point, it's like Homelander, it's like something switches in Homelander. He starts to like tear up and get excited and happy because he's like, whoa, like I could do something like that, and there's still gonna people that follow me. So it's like he's coming to that realization that he's like, oh, maybe not everyone won't like me, but some people will, which makes him even dangerous because now he's just gonna be doing whatever. And then on top of that, the scarier thing is that it zoomed in on Ryan's face, and Ryan saw all this transpire, and he started to smile, showing that like not only did he like enjoy it, but that he could one day have this, that where like he could be the strongest person. He could just like doesn't have to take shit from nobody, and he could just do whatever he wants, and people will still like rejoice him, right? So that's a scary situation, him seeing that and him being really close with Homelander. So I'm really interested to see in season 4 how they're going to address both of these, the Victoria Newman and the Homelander situation, now that they barely have any V. Soldier Boy's out of commission. Like, I want to know what the big thing is going to be to try and take down Homelander. Unless it's, again, now that Billy has minimal time to live, it's just straight, yo, I'm going to be pumping V all day, every day, and yo, come at me, Homelander. That could be the case. And that is how the season ended. So, that is it for my The Boys Season 3, Episode 8 review. And there isn't too much content out right now. We have She-Hulk, Andor, Game of Thrones, or The House of the Dragon, and Lord of the Rings coming out later in August, going into September. So not a lot of content coming out right now. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode, what you thought about the season and the series overall. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you think you would like content like this, trailer reactions, I got my long form podcast, the video version on here. If you like to listen to audio versions, you can listen to on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Got a whole bunch of content on the channel coming. So if you think you'd be interested in all that good stuff, subscribe here. You won't regret it. Appreciate you for watching.